Hello everyone, welcome back. And before I begin today, I wanted to talk about a couple of YouTube comments that came in. The first one by Collection, a YouTube commenter. He mentioned that when revealing a super project, you're supposed to be revealing the super project that's to the right of the timeline tile that you're currently on. So if we're here and we're in the prep phase and we need to reveal a super project, it should be this one, not the one that's on the current era. So I will get that corrected. Also, the second one that was brought up was from BGM 1961. He mentioned that when doing the warp phase, since it goes in player order, the Chronobot is the first player. So he should be doing his warp phase first. After we see what he places, now we get to do ours. And it actually works to our advantage. So if we see he doesn't have any warp tiles out there, maybe we don't want to ask for anything. It might change your strategy a little bit. So good point on that. So I just wanted to leave this note on the front of this video, even though you're getting ready to watch Era 2, just keep these in mind. So thank you both again for commenting and making sure that that was done correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on Era 2. Let's do the prep phase. So we're gonna refill the mine. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get that settled. Let's settle the mine. All right, let's settle the workers. So we need one scientist. We're gonna reveal a new super project. It's the Grand Reservoir. And I'll explain how this works in just a second. So this, to explain the Grand Reservoir, it's a 1 water discount off the actions that we're gonna do during the action rounds. So for each of our actions in the action round, we're gonna get a 1 water discount for that. It costs, let's see, 2 uranium, 2 titanium, an engineer, and 2 water, plus a circle research of that type to build this. It's worth 6 victory points. Okay, so that's the new super project. Now we're gonna shift the building stacks. So let's do that. All right, we're gonna talk, since we've already talked about these, let's just talk about this one. This one says, spend X amount of resources of those 3 color types. And for X spent, you're gonna move back in time X amount of eras. So if you spent 3 resources here, you're gonna be able to have a range of up to 3 to move back, and you're gonna get 1 victory point for doing it, in addition to taking the action of removing a tile and all that. This one says a worker can go here, pay 1 water, get to your uranium. This one says worker can go here, he comes back motivated later, and you get 3 water. This one says pay a power core. The worker that you place here will come back motivated, and you can power up an exosuit. So this is a way to power up an exosuit after the fact, which is really nice because sometimes you don't really know, like, ooh, how many exosuits should I power up? Because if you don't use them, you lose them, and this is a way to sort of mitigate that just a little bit. All right, now we're on to the paradox phase. This is the first time the paradox phase actually means something. Okay, so since I have 2 warp tiles out here and he only has 1, I'm gonna have to roll and he won't. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, I got nothing. I got lucky. So no paradoxes for me. That never happens. Okay, so let's go with the power up phase. So I'm gonna power up these 3 for sure. And I've kind of already thought about it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and pay my 2 power cores, which is kind of risky, but I'm gonna power up 2 more because now I'm out of power cores. So now I gotta figure out a way to get more. And just so you know, there's no engineers to recruit either, which would also give me a power core. All right, for him, he's gonna power up all 6. Receive water income, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my water income. Let's do that. All right. All right, so now we warp. Now it's time to think about, do we need help? Do we want to ask for something? And what would that be? I'm going to take a minute to think about the warp phase. Okay, so let's get the warp phase done here. I thought about it for a minute, and since I feel like I have enough resources to build what I want to build, and I can go to the mine once to get more, I'm thinking, since there's no engineers out here and it would be nice to have another engineer, I'm going to go ahead and ask for an engineer. So I'm going to place that out here. Okay, I'm going to spend a water to do that. Now that that's done, he's going to roll. He got 1. So he's going to place 1 out here. All right, so now that that warp phase is done, now we're gonna do the action rounds, starting with Chronobot. Since he is still first player, he will go first. He got a 2. 2 says he's gonna construct a lab. So he is gonna place an exosuit out there blocking this spot, and he's gonna take this lab, because they're both worth the same, and he's gonna put this lab here. So that's the Chronobot's turn. Now it's back to us. And the first thing I want to do is I want to use my worker here. Now it's not an administrator, so he won't come back active, but I'm going to pay this 5 water. So I paid the 5 water, and I'm going to supply my worker. So this goes up 1 on the morale track, and I'm going to move all my workers to the active column. And actually, I just realized that I paid the 1 water for the engineer, but I didn't actually receive him for my warp tiles. I paid the water though. Okay. So now that I have all my workers there, that ends my turn, and back to Chronobot. Okay, it's the Chronobot's turn, and I just realized I forgot to advance this from last turn. He rolled a 2 last turn. I needed to advance that. That's why I always try to roll, then advance this, then do the action so that I don't forget. But I caught myself this time. Alright, so let's go ahead and roll. He got a 6. Okay, so he's going to get 2 water. I did advance, and now he gains 2 water. Alright, back to us. Okay, so I've thought about my turn a little bit, and I think since I'm so short on water, I'm going to go ahead and use an exosuit for my scientist to go get 4 water. Now I could use that over there, but I'm going to use this out here to get the bonus so I can get 4 water. Oops. Okay, so I got my 4 water, and now it's back to the Chronobot. 5. Alright, so he's going to recruit. Let's advance this before I forget. He's going to send an exosuit out to recruit, and he's going to get a genius because that's his first priority, and he's not going to get the bonus for that. So that's the Chronobot's turn. Back to us. I better start thinking about recruiting and building before those spaces completely dry up, because the Chronobot is really working on that. Let's go ahead and build. I think that's more of a priority for me, so I'm going to send my exosuit out here. I have to pay 1 water, and I'm going to build another power plant because I want to be able to focus on my evac condition. If you remember, let's look at this. Once I get 3 of these built, I'll feel a lot better because I want to be able to evac later. So I'm going to go ahead and build a power plant, and I'm going to take this one right here. Now I got to be able to pay the costs. So 1 neutronium, 1 titanium because I used an engineer, get the discount there, 1 gold, and 2 water. So all those go back to the supply, and I get to build my power plant. Okay, now that that's done, let's get back to the Chronobot's turn. He rolled a 4. Okay, so the Chronobot rolled a 4. He is gonna supply his workers. So let's go ahead and advance this forward, so before I forget. Let's advance this forward, and he needs to pay 5 water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it's back to us. And now that that's done, I think recruitment might be something that I'd like to do. I gotta think about leaving a worker behind though for supplying my workers, and I also need to think about getting more water. So let's use one of these administrators to recruit a genius. It's gotta be an administrator. All right, so I'm gonna recruit this genius. And I'm gonna also get a bonus, and I'm gonna grab an energy core since I badly need one. And that's the end of my round. So now it's back to the Chronobot. Okay, so after that last action, I paused for a second, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. And of course, I did. I missed paying this water to recruit. So I'm gonna do that now. So nothing got affected. I caught it before we got too far along. So I just paid for that. So it's back to the Chronobot. He rolls another 4. So he's gonna build a lab. Let's advance this first. Now he will put an exosuit out here on this one, and he will build a lab. So he's gonna take this one, because they're both worth the same, and put that here. Alright, that's the Chronobot's turn. Now it's back to us. I only got 2 mech suits, and I have a lot of workers here. Before those actions out there sort of dry up on me, I'd like to do 2 things. I'd like to go to the mine probably, so let's do that so I could have enough resources to build maybe that factory that's out there. So let's go ahead and go to the mine. Let's use our engineer here, and he's gonna go to the mine, and before I select here, no, okay, I've changed my mind. I'm gonna grab this titanium, and I'm gonna grab another titanium. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so my action is done. All right, it's back to the Chronobot. Let's roll. He got a 3. He's gonna go to the mine. So I'm gonna advance this down here. He's gonna take an exosuit. He's gonna go to the mine, and he's looking for neutronium. There isn't any. He's looking for uranium and then gold. So he's gonna go to this top spot because he's gonna get this uranium and then this gold. And we're gonna put this on his board. So that's his action. Back to us. I have a lot of workers, but I have some other spots here. All right, I'm gonna spend this scientist. Well, no, no. We're gonna do the genius. Need to start using my geniuses here. I'm gonna go out here to this World Council spot since what I want to do is full, and I gotta pay the 1 water to go to that spot. And I want to build this factory here. I need to pay 2 titanium, but I'm using a genius who's acting as an engineer. So 1 titanium, 1 gold, and I get to build this. So now that that's complete, it's back to the Chronobot. What's he gonna do? He got another 6. Alright, so advance this, he gets a victory point. Now that's all he gets to do on that turn, so now it's back to us. I don't have any mech suits, but I need to start going back in time here. So let's do that. Who do I want to send back in time? I'm going to send my administrator. I'm going to spend him here. I'm going to send him back in time. So we're going to move our focus marker back 1. Then I'm going to repay this neutronium to the supply. And I'm going to remove this warp tile off the board here and put it back in my supply area down here. So that got repaid. And once you do that, you also get to move 1 up the time travel track here. This just shows how adept your path has become at time travel. So that is my action. All right, back to the Chronobot. He rolled a 3. Let's move this forward before I forget. He's gonna build, go. Actually, he can't. I just noticed all the spots for building are full. So he will simply get 2 water and 1 victory point. All right, done. It's back to us. Yeah, so we kind of ran out of things to do. I was thinking a scientist would be nice to go out and get some more water. I didn't get any research done, which is kind of a bummer. But this is how it works. So let's go here and get 3 water. It's really all I can do right now. All right, 3 water. Back to the Chronobot. What's he gonna do? Another 6. So this goes back here. He's gonna get 2 water. He's building up water again. All right, it's back to us, and I can't really do anything else. I'd like to get these power cores, but I don't have the elements that I need. I need 2 elements. I could go back in time again, but I don't have an administrator to pay back. So, I'm gonna pass. So that ends the action rounds. I think I did all I could do. I probably could have done better, but I'm also trying to film this. So let's cut it there, and let's move on into the cleanup. So now we're gonna retrieve workers. This one comes back tired. He will come back motivated, which is a good thing. All these get removed. This gentleman comes back tired, and he comes back motivated. Okay, so I got my workers all cleared up. Now we're gonna check for impact. It hasn't happened. We're gonna check for endgame. That doesn't happen. And now we're gonna move to the next era. Now, this is a good example. I went back in time. I'm not gonna go here again. The current era is now here. So we're coming back to the present. I went back in time, paid back that neutronium, and this is how you get your focus marker back to the present at this step of the cleanup. All right. So that ends era 2. I'll see you on the next video. Okay, so that's the end of era 2. And honestly, I think this is a good spot for me to end my playthrough. I thought long and hard about this, and originally I was going to do a full, complete playthrough from beginning to end on this. But I'm finding out that it's taking an enormous amount of my time to film and produce this particular game. I think I've accomplished enough here by showing you all the rules of the game, showing you how to set up the game, and then also showing you at least 2 eras of gameplay. So I feel pretty good about the series that I put together here. I think it's better for me to cut the playthrough there. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you guys stuck in this far. Now is a good time to move on to some other content.